I know, me too.
Polish were not in a good situation, man. They
Hell
were
no.
not in a good situation.
Hell no. Like on one side they got the fucking Germans, and then
Yeah,
on the other side they got the fucking Ruskies.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh shit, we are
Yeah,
like Chinese finger cuffed here.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yep.
Been getting spit roasted like a fucking spinner in a, BBC video on Pornhub. That's
Yeah.
making it to the YouTube clip.
That's stupid. There's your dick joke, folks.
There it is. There it is. On this computer. All right. That's your cue.
Hold on.
All right. You just
I say, hey, yo.
wow.
I say, yo, homeboy.
Wow.
Push that motherfucking button.
Oh, you better believe I'm pushing this button today. Boom. Because we are going to talk about Joe Rogan's latest effort to stick his foot in his mouth.
I'm
Joe
sorry.
Rogan, one more game.
His name is Bro Rogan.
Bro Rogan.
Bro Rogan.
Yeah. So apparently on Joe Rogan's podcast with Jordan Peterson, him and Jordan took turns sticking their foot in each other's mouth or in their own mouths and shit. Jordan, of course, went on the podcast and filleted his own tumescence and took pleasure in deposing his own auditory noises that were coming out of his face hole.
You sound like a Cessna Scorpion medallion just now.
Right? I know. I've been practicing.
Clearly. You sound a little bit like Jordan Peterson there.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I've been practicing. I mean, a man cannot live by the word fuck alone, right?
Right.
I try.
Exactly.
I try, but you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible.
I mean, it is a versatile word to be sure, but there's a lot more colorful and fun things to say than fuck. In any case, let's get on with it.
Yeah. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to tackle the most controversial one. We're gonna do that. So here we go. All right.
Depending on who you ask, either you're a voice of reason and rationality and personal responsibility, or you're a voice of intolerance and bigotry and anger and hateful
sexual oppression.
What did Michael
Prejudice.
Dyson call you?
Mean
angry white man.
And a mean, angry white man. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
You're not mean at all.
Yeah.
That's what's dumb about that statement. Is you're not mean at all.
I am white. Actually, that's a lie too. I'm kind of tan, and he was actually not black. He was sort of brown.
Because I'm darker than you.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But neither of us are white.
Well, I'm Italian.
And he was brown, not black.
Well, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's really
the
weird.
Black and white thing is so strange because the shades are so
tan and brown.
There's such a spectrum of shades of people. Unless you're talking to someone who is like 100% African from the darkest place where they're not wearing any clothes all day and they've developed all that melanin to protect themselves from the sun. Even the term black is weird. And when you use it for people that are literally my color, it becomes very strange.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is true. So you were asking.
There you go. I think that by far is the most controversial of exchanges that happen on the podcast.
I wouldn't call it controversial. I would just call it stupid. Because they're conflating two things.
Yeah, they are. They're
conflating the construct of race and the terminologies in which we use, He's like walking up to see, like, the Asian man isn't yellow. He's more tan or pale white.
Right? Like the red man, they're not really red. They're dark. They're brown.
Yeah. You know, and conflating phenotype with racial type. You know.
Right.
And it's bullshit. But this is like they're trying to say I'm not racist. That's what they're really trying to get across, right? And the racism is stupid. But they're saying it as if black people are the people holding on to racism versus why don't you talk to your racist homies and get them to be not racist, right?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to chastise black people for calling themselves black when that terminology was given to us by the constructors or the forefathers of racism.
Right. Right. So again, Jordan Peterson sticks his foot in his mouth and fillets himself by arguing semantics.
It's funny. He pretends to be smarter than this.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Clearly he is not.
No. I would expect that a Canadian from Canada to not understand racism in America, and how saying, or at least agreeing with Joe about how it's weird to call a black person black when they're really brown or light, like Obama, even like light-skinned brown.
Mhm.
Right? Despite all, you know, all arguments that the man ain't really black, you know, the white man in the America still thinks of him as black, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, and there's but agreeing to saying that, oh, you can't call a black person black if they're not, you know, they're not really black, they're brown, you know.
It's it's not so much the fucking color, it's the idea
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Come on,
it
man.
is it was a social construction devised by the enslavers and the what can I call them, the merchants of death that would take black people from Africa and sell them to white landowners in America.
That wasn't quite the
Americas.
wasn't quite the Seska Scorpion medallion I was expecting.
No,
but, all right.
no, right, exactly. But they had to differentiate, so it would be easier to sell, you know, to dehumanize these people, right? If you dehumanize them with language by calling them black, right, contrasting them with your white skin, then they're not really people anymore now, are they? Right?
Right.
You know, thus
They're
the use,
somehow diminished.
thus the use of the N-word, right, to continue that diminishment, and so that these people would, you know their place.
Wow, words are powerful, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, you know, words mean shit.
Yeah, because racism isn't about hate; it's about subjugation and power.
Yeah.
As long as you play your role, do what I say, you good. You can wet nurse my kid. You can be my dick warmer.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, no problems. But the moment they don't have that control, ooh, you're dirty. Don't eat off the same plates as me. Don't drink out of the same fountain. Like, how do we go from black women wet nursing black children for white women who couldn't bother to do such for their children to don't drink out of the same water fountain as me?
Yeah.
Because you're dirty.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Like how do you jump those leaps of logic? You know.
Very
Yeah.
easily, apparently.
It's just the barrier. I need to keep you in your place. And if you're not going to be in my place, I'm going to fuck with you to the 10th degree.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Like they wanted to argue the semantics of like, I'm not even really white. I'm kind of tan. And I'm like, homie, you're Canadian. All right.
What country does tan come from?
Yeah.
Canada, apparently.
Right. Homie, you're Canadian. Okay. Shut the fuck up. When you when you leave Canada and you come to America, motherfucker, you are white. Okay.
He's white in Canada. let's not pretend that they aren't the Americans of Canada.
They're Americans, but they're not armed.
They got Canadian niggas, but most of them are from the Caribbean.
Right.
They got Canadian Native Americans who they're still fucking out of their land and doing the same shit we're doing to the Native Americans. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Only thing they don't got is Mexicans.
Give us time.
Indeed.
we're still trying to get over the cold.
Yeah.
We're still trying to adapt to the cold. Give them time.
Give us time. We're gonna let the climate crisis warm Canada up a little bit more before we.
Well, there you go. That's a hell of a tie-in.
I know, right? We'll get to that. We're still on how Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson essentially told Black people, like, hey, you really have no identity in this country. Try something different. You know, how are you gonna tell a whole group of people, like, hey, you're not really what you say you are?
Yeah. So I got to go against the other white man's definition and use you two white man's definition.
Yeah, which is hey, check it out. You're not really black, you're dark brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Until the cops come.
You know, I mean, I guess you know what? If Jordan and Joe Rogan are right, we should just start identifying each other using the hexadecimal color system that Adobe uses or the internet uses. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm a lowercase f uppercase r 90 lowercase e uppercase e.
Yep. That's like the color, the color coding.
Yeah.
Or we could do it like in a Star Wars universe. You have a TK designation.
TK?
You know?
What's a TK designation?
For troopers. For stormtroopers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like TK 4421 or whatever.
Well, I mean, we have that already. It's called the Social Security number.
Right. I know that we have the Social Security number. I'm just saying, if we're going to designate ourselves, something stupid, then that TK shit's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, shit.
Isn't that essentially, what this whole discourse is about? I mean, this is stupid. They can't call themselves black because they're not really black. What?
Yeah. Well, Trevor Noah came out and says that we don't call ourselves black either. There are no black people in Africa. We have tribes. It's like my joke. White people only exist in America. They don't have white people in Europe. You know what they got in Europe? Germans, French, Spaniards.
Gaelic.
I mean, honestly, like in Europe, anyone who's from the southern countries are treated worse. They're treated like they're black people,
mm-hmm.
Right? The Portuguese, the Spanish, the Italians, and the Greeks, right?
The Polish.
No, the Polish are in the northern part, so they get treated differently.
Yeah, I get reminded
because of the Russians.
I get reminded of Jimmy Carr's joke, where how here, it's the Mexicans are taking all our jobs, right? That's what they say. In England, I guess they say the Polish people are coming to take our jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember all of those Polak jokes from back in the 80s, man. God, they were bad. Jesus. Yeah. I honestly don't even know what Europeans have against Poland. I don't. That's one thing I never looked into. Never looked into why the Europeans have such a big problem with the Polish people. I don't know.
Are Polish people part of the Icelandic whites?
Or
the Norwegian whites?
They're kind of a part of Eastern Europe,
Yeah, the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, because
but it seems to be beef amongst those four corners of whiteness, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you're in the France, Spain, England area, you're one type of white. If you're German, going that direction, you're another type of white. And if you go to the Northern Europe area where the Vikings came from, you're another type of white. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all
Well,
kind of like battle against that.
Well, they've all been fighting, with each other. I mean, during the reign of the Roman Empire, right? The Romans ventured as far as Germania, and then they stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I think I figured out in my high brain why the British people kind of tend to look down on Polish people. The Poles capitulated very easily during World War II.
So did the French.
But the French actually drove the Nazis out eventually. The Poles didn't really do that. But how could they? I mean, they were fighting tanks against what? Fucking a cavalry, like people on horses.
Yeah.
With spears still. Like, it's not like they could fight.
The fucking French, the French drove the Germans out eventually with the help of, us Americans, right? Mm-hmm. Who do the Polish have? The Russians helping them? Holy fuck, man. God damn. You might as well have had Hitler help you. You're fucked either way, man. You're fucked either way. If you're in Poland, like, Hitler or Stalin. Holy fuck. What kind of a choice is that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jesus.
A fucked up one.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And I've been watching a lot of World War II documentaries. The Polish were not in a good situation, man. They were not in a good situation.
Hell no. Like on one side, they got the fucking Germans. And then on the other side, they got the fucking Ruskies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh shit. We are like Chinese finger cuffed here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And getting spit roasted like a fucking spinner in a, BBC video on Pornhub. That's making it to the YouTube clip.
Stupid. There's your dick joke, folks.
There it is. But
I'm sure there's gonna be another one.
But a lot of people are up in arms because Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan pretty much minimize the entire Black community, by saying, hey, you don't exist, as much as the climate doesn't exist, which leads us to our next topic.
You like that shit, homies? Listen to the whole podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like and subscribe, and check out another video. Until next time, homies. Peace. It's a